What's up, H-Town? This is the Dash Dispatch, episode number 2. You heard it here, the Dash Dispatch. It's new. It's all involved with the Houston Dash, your women's sports team of Houston, 713-832, whatever your area code is. Why I say H-Town and all around, because my area code is 512. I believe his area code is 512. But you know what? We represent the H all day, every day. And when I say him and his and who he is the absolute dynamic Foxtrot Andres Naranjo. Bro, Forever Orange, it's in your last name, right? What's going on, bro? How you doing?
Man,
That's how you're doing.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's how I'm feeling right now, man. That's how I'm feeling right now. But man, I'm doing great. Obviously, last weekend I was able to go back to Houston for the first time in a while. Regardless of the weather and what happened, man, I'm so excited for the Houston Dash to kick things off in the next month. But yeah,
Yes.
man, lots to talk about still.
Absolutely a lot. March 14th, opening day for the Dash. But what's first, man? What's first? U.S. Women's National Team. We hosted at Shell Energy Stadium, which has been a long time coming. I don't know if we did ourselves a good service. It was raining. It was cold. So for February, early February, it just didn't work out. So I hope they come back another time because the stadium was not full. I don't know what the full attendance was, the sold attendance was. But we were trying to bring the women's here just to play here, and because Houston is such a big atmosphere, and they belong here, and we have the Dash here too as well. So come on, man, it just made sense. But they were here, played against Colombia. I was in person. Juan was in person, who is not present. Unfortunately, you weren't able to make it due to work, unfortunately, but I'm sure you watched it. I'm sure you paid attention to it. I'm sure you saw Jane Campbell with the start, Yazmeen Ryan with the start as well, playing at home for club and country. Yazmeen Ryan has just been something special since she's arrived and just is sold for this club. And of course, you can't say nothing bad about Jane Campbell, who is married now, so she's hyphenated her name. I'm not going to butcher it or even say it or even try to pronounce it. I think it's Nair, but y'all look it up. Y'all find it. We'll hear her pronounce it. Campbell. I mean, she got married, so we'll start saying her name, but I'm sure Campbell will be on the back of her jersey for a minute, for a few years. But, man, Andre, U.S. Women's National Team at home, Shell Stadium. What did it mean to you just to be here in Houston and get to see not only Dash players, but the national team play at home? Our home.
It's always great, man. And when they announced SheBelieves Cup is gonna go to Houston to start the whole tournament, I had to be there. Unfortunately, there were a couple of things at the last minute at work. I had to stay back.
Yeah.
And I really couldn't travel, and I was extremely upset about that. But honestly, just watching it from home, watching the game, just seeing the U.S. Women's National Team back in Houston playing through the weather as well, like it just felt incredible. And the best part, of course, is we have two Dash players representing the United States, which is amazing. And Yazmeen Ryan, assist. What about that?
What about that? You know what? Let's just go ahead and play the clip and let these people just watch. Who are on YouTube, you got 35 seconds to watch. If you're listening, I apologize. Hey, I recommend you go to YouTube. Just watch it. I'm sure if you follow the Dash, you've seen the clip, but go ahead, Andres. Play the clip. Welcome to Houston.
Yep.
Yeah. That was beautiful. That was beautiful. Yes. I was waiting. Woo.
Man, what a setup. Riverstone.
That's from the Australia game. Obviously, we played 2 games.
Yeah.
First.
Yeah.
That's freaking awesome, man. But those two to get to play, Jane Campbell has been fighting to be a just to be a part of the team, and she has an absolute opportunity now, and she's fighting for it. She got this start, obviously at home. The other keeper, we're not going to say her name because she's not Dash. She got the start against Australia. Who's going to get the start against Japan for that big final game? And Japan they're no joke. This is going to be a brawl and a fight. But let's regress. Go back to it. Jane Campbell, starting keeper, fighting for her life. What, man, it means a lot to her. What does it mean to us as the fans and just as Dash players to see her as a U.S. Women's National Team player and getting the start?
It's always an honor for players. Sorry, it's always an honor for players. But honestly, as fans, it's just great to see to have a player represent the national team, and two of them at that. So it's always incredible. I did talk a little bit more about Emma Hayes and how she has been able to just uh, flip the switch with this team,
Oh
even
yeah,
though they've been having issues. It's still one of, if not the best national team in women's soccer right now. And they're just like tearing through everyone apart. Just how they're just like able to execute offensively extremely well, and defensively they're just improving over time. But but yeah, man, that game against Japan, it might be a different story. Japan is one of the best national teams in the world. Uh, Arguably, you can definitely set up an argument against the U.S. women's national team. But but yeah, man, it's gonna be an insane game, and I hope Jay Campbell starts and Yazmeen Ryan.
absolutely. And before we get to that, man, let's just review the game at hand at Shell Energy Stadium. And it started off kind of slow. I mean, not really slow because we scored kind of early. But man, it was an exciting game. Like you said, it was kind of rainy. T- t- you watched the game? You said.
Yeah, and yeah, I just remember it very well because like obviously the elements could have played a part, and it looked like a couple times I was fairly impressed by Colombia, just how they were able
At the
to.
start, the first 15 minutes of it was Columbia was doing well, doing
Yeah, I'll
well.
say at first 15 or 20 minutes, like they've been doing very well, and a lot of people were just like counting them out. And sometimes when it comes to women's soccer, it's definitely different than the men's, but the playing styles for everyone is just different. A lot of people expect blowouts by the U.S., but there's times where teams are just able to like put a performance, and they just have to hold the line as much as possible just to try and get a lucky break from them.
Hey, they're expecting possession. They're pushing forward, so that's how you get beat on the counter. But I trust them. They were playing, a lot of new players are playing as well. A lot of debuts. Sané was I think finishing her career with the women's team. I'm not sure, that's not confirmed or not. But she started, and you got a new keeper in the goal, Jane Campbell, and who the other girl is. It's friggin' fun. Yazmeen Ryan getting to start. Hopefully she can be a mainstay and actually get the starts whenever it's time. And it's for real. She didn't start in Glendale, but she did come off the bench with 26 minutes or 24 minutes left in the game. But going back to it, man, Yazmeen Ryan with a friggin' assist, and everybody's hyped because the girl that scored the goal. I don't remember her name. Not remember her name. It starts with an M, so I'm not gonna butcher it. Old Chelsea player with Chelsea with
Got
Emma.
Macario, yeah.
Yeah, with Emma Hayes, and so like it felt like there's a rejuvenation going here because everybody was hyped. It's like she's back when she scored this goal. I mean, she had that defender beat. She was steps in front of that defender, and Yazmeen Ryan just played the ball across the box like she was supposed to. Perfect time. That run she made, the vision that the midfielders saw. You saw the clip there at the end of that last clip. Man, that was a beautiful pass, a beautiful seat, a beautiful run, a beautiful pass, and a great finish. I love it all. I love to see it, man. Because of that, I'm looking forward to it with the Houston Dash, bro. How excited were you when you saw that assist and that goal from Yazmeen Ryan, the assist?
Just massive from Jasmine Ryan. And the only few times we've been able to see her, or the times that I've just been able to like watch some of the preseason scrimmages, and just like the hype around all the fans that just watched the dash. It's just great. I expected big things from this game out of her, since she was able to start, and in just her 33 minutes, she was just able to get the assist here. With Catalina Macario, she's one of my favorites. U.S. Women's National Team players right now, and there's like coming back from injury, of course, not so long ago, and just able to perform like this at the highest level.
Yeah, yeah. In this team, and we need those players to step up because, as you see, Japan ain't no joke. And Lindsey Horan, who is not a Horan no more, she changed her last name to Heat because she got married. So you're missing Horan on the field, but you got a Heat now. So it's the same thing, the same build body, the same controlling midfield. I love what the U.S. Women's National Team is bringing, and and just what the future is bringing. Avery Patterson as well as a future. So man, that was just a way they played. Jane Campbell didn't have much to do. She was involved in the game, but I think maybe had one save and was tested once. There was one play where I thought Columbia was going to get a good shot on goal, was hoping for a save, but the girl didn't trap it well, and then she just played it off to the side or over. I don't remember which one it was, but it was just a horrible shot, and like, oh, we were saved. And it was still 0-0 at the time, so like that's when Columbia was pushing. So it was fun. It was a good game. U.S. dominated. Jane didn't have to do anything, no risk. Yazmeen was kind of quiet, but got the assist and made her run. It was a perfect timed run, and the vision from the midfield to see her. I'm pretty sure it was he who got the assist. I can't tell you, not the assist, but the MLS assist. But I mean, yeah. So U.S. Women's National Team, and then go to Glendale. You beat Australia 2-1. I'm a little disappointed about that score. I expected more, especially with Japan is just rolling through their opponents. This is going to be a big game against Japan on Wednesday night. So, Jane going to get the start. The other guy are going to get the start. I'm hoping it's Jane. I know you're hoping it's Jane. If Jane, whoever gets the start against Japan is the leading goalkeeper for the U.S. Women's National Team right there at this point. I hope it's Jane. She deserves it. But the other girl ain't no joke either at the same time, not to discredit her at all. It's going to be crazy. Yazmeen Ryan, I hope she gets the start. If she does, that obviously also means something. It's leading to it. But I mean, what do you think? We got Japan, man. It's got Japan. Do we? Yeah, we have a chance. Japan's
I
better
know
though.
you could. Obviously, this is like an invitational tournament and all that, but to play against Japan, you need to go all out, regardless of the circumstances. And that's why I'm saying if you want to have a chance of winning, like no disrespect to the other keeper, but Jane Campbell has to start, and Jasmine Ryan's can definitely assist with that too.
Yeah.
And that you just have to play near a perfect game. Just make sure that you are ready for those counters that Japan's gonna set you up against, because they're just everywhere and they know how to mess you up.
And they're more of a established team right now. We're looking at a lot of young players, a brand new coach too, who she's looking at everybody in the pool and trying to establish what's best for her. So uh, I'm not surprised if Japan ends up winning this game. We'll just see what the players that are playing for the U.S. Women's National Team can do against this team, Japan. Japan's going to be a big test. They're more established. Their players have been there longer and been doing it a lot longer. We're trying to use something new and trying to build. It's a new generation, right? All those girls are gone. Alex Morgan gone. All of them are gone. All the players you miss. So it's a new generation, but it's a great coach. Emma Hayes ain't no joke. If you know her from Chelsea, she's going to do her job, and she's going to make this team win that 2027 World Cup. So I'm okay with it. And this is a great game to play before. I don't even know what happens after this SheBelieves Cup with the U.S. Women's National Team. Some more exhibitions, but this game is for real. Let's play it. Let's win it. Let's let Japan know, hey, we'll meet you in the final for the World Cup, hopefully.
Yeah, if then, but that's a great possibility always.
Yeah. Still ways to go. But all right, man. So let's move on. We're talking about Dash, our players. Let's move on. Dash second preseason game against Portland over in Portland. there was no media availability. There was barely any video, but thankful to our admin who did let us know what the score was going on and who scored for the Dash as well. Not who scored for Portland, but that's okay. We don't care about Portland anyways. Portland's a good team. So for the Dash to win 3-2 in an exhibition, we're trying out a lot of new players. I mean, a lot of new players. We're letting those invitees get a lot of playing time as well. That's a big difference, and you're still getting a result like that. I'm very excited to see what's going to happen once we start on March 14th or whatever that opening day is on a Friday. It's going to be crazy, but man, give me your takeaway from that before we get into the details of that game. What did you get from that scrimmage? We'll call it that.
I like to call the Fabrice Coachella special now because he's been very open about how he wants to approach or how he wants the Dash to approach each game. And of course, we're still in preseason.
Mm-hmm.
He definitely will want to give everyone a chance, and even the roster invitees, or the non-roster invitees, just for preseason count.
Yeah.
Because there've been a couple that have been added for the past couple of weeks. So it's just great that everyone is getting a fair shot, especially in the Coachella Invitational. Obviously, just being away from home and being in a tournament setup like this, it's always great. Everyone gets that same kind of experience. And obviously for these types of games, that it's a little bit tricky to get a hold of, especially if it's streamed or not streamed. For the most part, in the for the bigger tournaments, the invitational ones, those do get streamed. And it's just great. At least for me, I say the Fabrice Coachella special because everyone's just getting that even shot, and the attack is there. We've been able to at least hopefully assume there's new connections happening because of at least the updates that we've been given through social media and all that. But yeah, it's still great that everyone it's getting that fair shot regardless of hey, you're a starter, you might not have a chance or even be signed into the team, but who knows? Anything can happen.
Well, I mean, like you said, so many players are playing. It's preseason. And what you do, and you're a brand new coach, you're brand new roster, a lot of new incomers. How do you figure out who could play together? Just throw them out there in preseason when it does not matter one bit who wins or who loses. It matters on the camaraderie and who can play soccer together the best. And I want to put my best 11 out there. So it's very curious, and I love that he's doing that. And as you mentioned, there was a couple new non-roster invitees brought on. There was a couple non-roster invitees that were let go. I assuming they signed somewhere else or find another job or another gig or whatever. So we'll follow those, and if any of those make the roster, we'll give you more details about them. Right now, we're going to let them be just non-roster invitees, and once they get the roster, once they get that contract, we'll give you more details about them and let you know who they are. And they'll obviously be a depth piece. You never know. They can make it into the starting lineup, man. But you know what? Go ahead and just play clip number 2 and just let them see what the Dash did in Coachella. This is a Dash video, by the way.
3, 1, 2, 3, Dash!
I love this right here. Fight.
Yeah.
And the Gary's is showing something different. I'm looking forward to it. Woo!
Yeah. Everyone in NWSL hates to watch it because she's getting back in the groove, man.
I like it, and it looked like she's playing that left wing as a forward. We've used her in 14 different positions, I feel like. Left wing, left midfielder, left back. So it's exciting to see her play that left because she has the speed, she has the legs, she does attack defenders. She had an assist that, we call it an assist because it led to an own goal, and then she scored the goal afterwards. So that was exciting to see. Gary's getting an assist and a goal. Man, are you returning from eternity? Can Ryan Gary's be somebody that is going to be part of this club and part of getting us over that hump?
Yeah, she's here for a reason. That's because she can still bring a lot to the table, and obviously coming out of maternity leave, and kind of like what we talked about Katie Lynn, just getting back into match fitness and just being ready to go. It takes a lot, and I mean, it can definitely change a player just being in that period of time where you just like be able to bond with family, and like right after that, just be so inspired to get back on the field and just show out who you are, And I look forward to Ryan Gary's, and obviously, like I said last time, I look forward to Katie Lynn. Those are two players that can still provide a lot for us. And up forward, man, Ryan Gary's can do a lot.
Well, speaking of Ryan Gary's, why don't you go ahead and play number 3, and let's hear what she has to say real quick about that.
We experienced just a little bit of dullness, and I feel like that's
boring.
Not what we're trying to bring this season.
That's what all last year was.
Trainings, like the intensity is so high. So in that second half, I think we applied that. And
this is what I loved.
Applied some pressure. We just moved the ball faster, and to get the goal was just the boost that we needed to continue that for the rest of the game.
You sit next to me sometimes at the games, most of the time at the games, unless her mom be sitting next to me. We don't have her mom sitting next to us this year, so it's been you so far. But I'm like elbowing you, like, I like this, man. I like this. I like this. What she said about the second half, making the adjustment and pushing, and it showed. And against a team like Portland, they're no joke. They're a good team still. They are still a very good team. But then you change the possession. And I'm always bitching about the ball moves too slow with the Dynamo. The ball moves too slow. Teams are going to park the bus, and you got to break them down. But if you don't move the ball quick enough, getting on the wings and you try to beat the defenders back, then you're going to suffer, and it's going to be hard to break down. And I like how the Dash are pressing more efficiently and pushing more efficiently. And if they can do it as an organized team, like Ryan Gary says here, we have a chance, man. We have a chance to be at least a playoff team and be very competitive. Still a lot of answers to have, a lot of going on, a lot of questions going on. But, man, can you feel confident just listening to her words and just from what we've seen as well?
Yeah, and we kind of talked a little bit more about what the new regime wants to do with the team.
Yeah.
And how they've been able to convince everyone to stick with the project. And this is part of that. Obviously, when everyone's on the same page, like we have this, players like Ryan Gary's coming out and saying, I know what we have to do, and it's very clear, and I'm going to execute. And granted, I wasn't able to see the scrimmage here, but just based on what she's been saying and what they've been working on, it tells me that they've been working on a lot of things this offseason so far. So this season's going to prove us a lot of things, and I'm very optimistic to see what we're going to see by opening day.
Very exciting times, man. Very exciting times. Like I said, a lot of questions. Still no questions of what the lineup's going to look like. It was hard to put that lineup together, too, at the same time, from what they released as a starting lineup, because if you follow the Dash admin, she does. We'll say she or he. I believe she is a she admin. My bestie. Not my bestie. Our bestie. But starting lineup, it looked like we're playing that 3-back. It's hard to tell if there is a 4th back with a Losey I'm not sure. Since we're not seeing video, we can't tell. So I'm going to be very, very interested for opening day on a Friday night to see what our lineup walks out and looks like. And I'm expecting a lot from Katie Lynn. Paige Nielsen will obviously be a starter. Jacobs most likely going to be a starter on that back line. And I had no quarrels with those 3, man, but I'm looking forward to what's coming up. Let's hear from Katie Lynn real quick, and then I kind of want to hear you. It's like, is this defense going to be trustworthy?
I mean, I'm just so grateful that I'm able to get back out on the field. It's been a long journey, but I'm really grateful to my teammates and staff to help me get to this point, and it's a really exciting group. I'm really happy with all the players that we've got now, and I think we got a really deep team, and to have these players come in and step up and play some big roles, it's going to be huge for the season moving forward.
A deep team.
It is one of the things that we need to always.
Well, let's remind people, 8 of the players that came in, 6 of them have won trophies, 5 of them NWSL titles, the other one a supporter shield, or not a supporter shield, but Yeah, whichever one. That's not 6 trophies out of the 8 players that we brought in, kind of following the Dynamo aspect of it. We're bringing in champions. We're bringing in winners. And obviously winners win and play better together. So I'm very encouraged about this season coming up and looking forward to what we can do together as a group. I'm sure it's going to be a slow start just because of how many new players it is. You still have a core coming in from last season, but there could be a lot of new positions. Deanna Ordonez is still not playing. Not obviously, still must be injured. So let's not count on her no more. Messiah Bright is looking great in preseason, so I'm looking forward to maybe her getting a start. Hey, let's give a shout out. Birthdays. Jane Campbell had one last week. Your girl, Barbara Laveri, had one today.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Today.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Yeah, so I know she's enjoying her moment. But, man, tell us, how excited are you about this season? Are you optimistic, or are you still questionable? And what is that question?
Super optimistic.
Yes.
And I've said I've said that, yeah. I've said that a lot of times in certain Dash seasons, and things went south very quickly. But, of course, there's a difference between this last offseason and all the other off seasons. Yeah. And the main one is that obviously we did assign a new GM. At the same time we have a new coaching staff altogether. And obviously there've been a lot of obstacles on the road with like controversies and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
But it looks pretty solid on paper, and how they've been able to give details on the project as much as they can. And of course, like I've said before, what I'm going to keep repeating is just the fact that they've been able to convince all these players to not only stick around, but also bring in. So if any one of you guys remember the clip that OSJ and I recorded, like in the last game of the season, where players were, like, obviously it was a fan appreciation night, and we pretty much ended the season in last place. It was just like everyone just fell down, but you could see the players in the center circle just talking to each other, and Jane Campbell addressing the crowd, saying that they have to get back to work, and they have to keep believing in themselves. And after that, for me, I was just like very questionable as to how the organization was gonna roll out from here, because who wants to come to this project, you know? Like, who wants to come to Houston at this stage? And almost like one off season later, with less than a month left to start or kick things off, we looked extremely solid. We did a lot of moves to get some very amazing players that I wouldn't ever seen them here in the first place. So there's something going on in, like, behind the scenes. They're selling a project and it's working, and man, that's what I'm looking forward to the most. And of course, let's get to playoffs. That's all we want. But right now, I'm extremely optimistic.
So like we said, like before, all these hires and everything was going on, Jessica O'Neill's in the hot seat now. Or we said she was in the hot seat. She is still in the hot seat. She's still in the hot seat, right?
Yep.
She made all these hires. She's done all, and I credit for her for what she's done in this offseason. And I like what she's done, to give her credit. But let's also say she's still in the hot seat because all these hires, obviously she got, let Alex go. Alex kind of failed us, obviously, but I support Jessica. I believe what she's doing. I enjoy talking to her. I get to talk to her a lot behind the scenes, obviously. It's in the tunnel, coming by. If I say hi, Jessica, she will stop and sit there and talk to you, and you kind of got to push her away to let you know, hey, we're done talking. You can go and move on to your next people. I know you're busy. So I love Jessica. She talks, and she'll sit there and talk to you the entire night. She has that much time. And I thought it was super cute. She walked Ted out to her car after the She Believes game. And she came back in and went back into the tunnel where we were at, and just kept talking to all of us. So I thought it was really awesome and cute that, Ted Siegel was here all weekend, by the way, for She Believes and for Dynamo this weekend. So it's good to see. I enjoy Jessica O'Neill, and I just want to say that clearly for this Dash Dispatch.
Yeah.
I believe she's doing a great. I'm not going to say a great job. I believe she's doing a good job. I think she understands the seat that she was in, and she does listen to the fans. She does see, not say listen to the fans. She does see what the fans are saying, and probably some of the, whatever it is. But I think she's doing a good job, and she's been stepping it up on the plate and using the resources that she has to do what she can do now. Even on the hints of, Tim Howard and Ted Siegel announcing, hey, we're going to put the team up for sale. And I think that the sell, just so we'll be clear and we transition to it, if you have any comments on Jessica, please add. But transition into the sell, I think it's a sell for the better, and it is definitely not for relocation. I'll say that aloud again and add 14 exclamation points after it. The team is not for sale for relocation. This team is for sale for the betterment of the team, to improve the team. Ted Siegel's a real estate agent, a real estate investor, doesn't exactly understand soccer, but he knows what he's doing. He's bringing in people to make this a better club and improve the situation. Of course, the value is going to go way up. World Cup's in 2027, so he's not going nowhere. We're not relocating. We're just going to make this team better and bring the value and draw more here to make this a better team and be very competitive. So when we watch Dynamo, we watch Dash, we are very intrigued and looking into it, and just like, these teams are winning. These teams are winning on a nonstop basis. So, Andres, after all that I just said for the last 4 minutes, man, I know it's a lot to take in. Counteract, man.
Yeah, I mean, I have comments for both topics that you just mentioned, and the first one, like just to go back to Jessica O'Neill, and mention that pretty much everything you said about her is true, in the sense that she doesn't only work for the title she has right now, but every time I go to either a Dynamo or Dash game, she's floating around somewhere. You can see that she by herself. You can definitely see that she definitely really cares about the sport and how the team is doing, as far as I can see. And really, I just walk into either the media press box or the the photo area for where media usually hangs out to, or just the concourse, or the sports deck area, or just inside the East Club or the West Club, and she's just floating around everywhere and greeting people, and every time I say hi, she you said, either she just says hi back or just looks at me and says hi, and obviously she's busy. I'm not gonna take the time out of her day, but just she's being able to care about people, does a lot, says a lot, and I do have to agree that her job is I would say partially on the balance too, because we have Angela in charge of women's soccer operations, so there's that to consider. But still, this is a business at the end of the day, so a lot of people have to be considered when it comes to who's responsible for everything else. But I do have to say that regardless of what happens in the future, Jessica O'Neill is a person that cares. So
yeah, absolutely.
That's what I can say for sure. And the potential sale, we did kind of talk a little bit about that during the off season, and and I've said it, I feel it might just be a minority stake thing, and it's definitely beneficial for the team itself. It definitely costs a lot of money to relocate a team, particularly having a stadium plan, and the league of this size, and obviously the expansion fee is not going to be an issue, but still, you need to have a pretty solid stadium plan if you want to get that relocation approved, and not to mention all the money that goes right behind it, And
I know what some of you are thinking right now as he says that. Relocation is not that big of an issue. If the city wants it, they have the money, they put it up front, and they got the stadium, or they're going to build a stadium, they can steal and they can relocate. NWSL doesn't want to do that. They want the expansion. They don't want to leave Houston, and Ted doesn't want to leave the team to leave Houston either at the same time. Going to be so much fucking money here in Houston to make for this team and to grow this team. So it only makes sense to stay in Houston and the culture in Houston. So I'm not worried about them leaving. I'm not worried about the location. I'm not worried about the rules and the money that the NWSL can make. NWSL is going to continue to expand. So Houston's here to stay. Houston's here to stay. We're not going to be the Comets.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I kind of talked a little bit in depth about that, so I'm not gonna say as much. But
yeah,
I'm still gonna say that I don't expect relocation whatsoever.
Right.
And yeah, we're still gonna be supporting the Dash no matter what. And I hope you guys share about the Dash too. They could use more of your support than everyone else's that live in Houston. You know.
Yeah, please share. I mean, you get to hear the Dash for this entire time that we've been on tonight. What is this? A good 45 minutes so far as we're recording. Dash only. Dash only. These women deserve our respect, and we're going to give it to them. And I'm going to give you, not just me, Andres. Juan will be in here. There might be some other guests in here as well. We're going to bring you the Dash, and we're going to bring you the Dash the entire season, and we're not going to miss a week. We're not going to miss anything. We're going to give you all the news. And if it's a 15 minutes, or 45 minutes, or an hour, 30 minutes, a 2-hour episode, we're going to bring it to you, and you're going to get your Dash and get your news, and you're going to follow your team, and you're going to enjoy your team, man. So, moving on. There's a new jersey reveal, I heard. Tell me about it.
The worst kept secret.
Yeah, right?
When it comes to jerseys, but it's still welcome. And man, more purple. I'm definitely okay with that.
Hey, I'm definitely good with it. I've heard some people that's seen it. They enjoy it. We've got a clip of it. We're definitely not confirmed that's an official jersey, whatever. So just watch the clip, watch the reveal, date reveal.
Ready or not.
3 days, 2.5 days, 2 days if you're listening to this recording.
Here I come, can't hide. Gonna
Hot.
find you.
It's crispy, man. It's very powerful.
That's freaking awesome. This is from the Dash. 3 days. 2 days.
Yeah.
2 days. Sorry, 2 days.
Almost there, yeah.
Oh, man. I don't know which one I'm getting first because I didn't get the new Dynamo jersey yet. I don't know which one to get first, man. I'm going to have to make a decision which one I'm getting first. But I'm loving the purple away. I don't know what we're doing with the Specialty Blue. Maybe a third kit somehow, but obviously not from the Dash because we don't sell shit. But, man, the perp.
Like at work, like for work anniversaries, they give us the gift cards, and usually like mine lasts around in February, and literally they give me, I'd say like $100.
No.
So the plan is to see if I don't think Fanatics has like a Dash store, so I have to see if they give me like a Nike one to see if I can get a Dash one. So and I'm literally debating in between if I should get the Dynamo one or Dash one. And I'm leaning towards Dash because I need more Dash jerseys.
Yes.
But I'm still getting the Dynamo one later.
Yes.
I have like 2 years to get it, so it's fine.
I'm getting every jersey every year.
and that's great. I'm doing the same for the Dynamo, but the Dash I'm definitely getting the purple one, like 100%. Like if you look at it, it's just incredible. The crest itself, it also have the Walkmark name on it, but it has the simple one, as Space City Blue. And purple, amazing.
I love it, bro. I love it. I can't wait to see this jersey and can't wait for them to see this jersey and just enjoy it. But, man, that brings us to the end of this Dash Dispatch. And thank y'all for listening to the Dash Dispatch, brought to you by Foxtrot TV, Foxtrot Media in the Foxtrot Studio. Andres, the dynamic Foxtrot himself, joining us tonight. OSG, you know the voice, you know the ugly face when you watch on YouTube. Don't worry about it, bro. I ain't hiding from nobody. You know where to find me. You know where to hear from me. Holler. Andres. Socials, bro. where can anybody and everybody follow us? Let them know.
And all season long, we're going to be at Dynamic Foxtrot on X, formerly Twitter, also on Blue Sky and Instagram. OSG does have a handle on X called Noodle Tiempo, which also shares content around Foxtrot Media. Highly recommend following both accounts at the same time if you hover on Twitter a lot, or X, and Instagram. We're going to be updating you all throughout the Dash season, all currently underway for the Dynamo, and just sharing all of our content. And one thing that I wanted to highlight is that we recently just published our segment of Foxtrot Game Day, which is going to be focusing on content surrounding game days. And this is not going to be just for the Dynamo, but it's going to be also for Dash and those over the course of the year. So just keep an eye on that. It's going to be posted not just on YouTube and Gold TV, but also on audio. So if you're already subscribed to Noodle Time, whenever you listen, you're going to be seeing it we're aiming for every Monday, kind of like what we did for our reviews. If you've been able to tune in for the last couple of years, so keep that in mind. We're looking forward to it to start publishing it as soon as Dash start kicking a ball. It's gonna be amazing. I'm looking forward to it. And then as
those
always,
reviews come straight from the stadium, right? Straight from the stadium after the game, after the press conference, after the mixed zone where you get to talk to the players. We're going to give you those reviews so immediately after the game. From the stadium, as you will see in the background every time.
Oh, it's going to be incredible. Regardless of whatever we are, we're still going to review the games no matter what. And we're going to bring it to you guys. So it's something that we're looking forward to. It's a project that we've been thinking about since we're expanding our content a little bit. We're recording a lot more. we're going to end up making 4 podcast episodes a week, but it's definitely possible this year.
I love it. We working, bro. We working. We're keeping it up. We're if they enjoy us and we keep that energy and we're fun to listen to, that's the best part for me. I hope we're fun to listen to and you can follow along the entire episode and you don't fall asleep in the car or at your office or wherever you're listening to. Please let us know anything we can do to improve this show. Add a segment to this show that you might be interested in us adding. Give us ideas, man. We're always listening. Comment. Please comment. Help our egos, too, at the same time. The better our egos, the better the show will be.
Yeah, and Spotify now allows comments on podcast episodes, so you feel free to comment on Spotify or YouTube, as always. So it's a good way for us to know if there's something to improve or you'd like to see something added to our content. We're always watching, guys. We're always listening to feedback, and we definitely appreciate all the reviews that you give us and the likes you give us on YouTube and all the podcast platforms. We really appreciate it. It helps the algorithm for us and more people discover. So it definitely helps us. So we do appreciate the support.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Andres, enjoy the time tonight. Enjoy the Dash Dispatch. I hope y'all have a good time. I hope y'all enjoy the show. Andres, H is up and good night. We are forever orange, right?
And Dash on, baby.
Dash TF on.
Yeah.
Peace.
There we go.
Peace.